Hi and welcome to my first video. My name is Nadine and I'm 19 weeks pregnant. In this video, I want to talk about the first part of my pregnancy journey in Japan. Me and my husband, we tried for quite a while to get pregnant. So I'm super excited to share all the memories on our way to meet our first child. After my pregnancy test was positive, I went to my gynecologist. At this point, I was at the end of the 5th week of my pregnancy. I got my first ultrasound image and I was told everything looks good. What really surprised me was how straightforward the doctor asked me if I want to keep the baby or not. It was a very casual conversation. He was like, "Do you want to keep the baby or not?" I guess he saw how surprised I was, so he explained that some women choose not to keep the baby, so he needs to ask. It is very different from Germany, where I come from. I think this will make it very easy in Japan for women to get an abortion. I felt that the doctor would not judge any decision I would make, so the whole situation, the whole conversation with him felt really empowering. Since I cannot give birth at my gynecologist, he told me that I need to find a hospital. He also recommended an epidural because giving birth hurts a lot. That's his words. I was checking beforehand what kind of birthing styles are available in Japan. And it is quite common here to give birth on a delivery table. It's similar to a gynecologist chair. You sit on top, spread your legs, and then you can give birth. I'm not a medical professional, but I did some research anyways, and I found that giving birth on your back is not recommended because you will have more pain in your lower back. You have an increasing risk of tearing, and you would push against your birth channel. Your birth channel goes like this, and if you lie on your back, you have to push against gravity. So it is recommended to give birth on your side or on your knees. My sister just gave birth and she told me that she was able to move around freely on her bed. She gave birth lying on her side because she felt a lot of pain in her lower back. So I want to do it in a similar way. In Japan, this is called freestyle birth. I was talking to my doctor about all these different types of birthing methods, including water birth, because that's something I'm interested in as well. But he was not open to any kind of birthing methods other than epidurals. He explained that water birth is super dirty, and except for an epidural, everything else is too painful. He recommended that I choose a hospital where they provide epidurals, and then he would write me a referral letter. After the appointment with my gynecologist, I looked up some hospitals. I was looking for a hospital which provides both epidurals and freestyle birth because I want to be able to decide later. I checked probably 10 hospitals in total. I called them and asked what kind of birthing methods they do provide. And only 3 hospitals out of 10 were providing freestyle birth, not using a delivery table. They would use instead a bed or a Japanese-style tatami room. I got the impression during my search that there are 2 types of hospitals. One is a standard hospital. They provide epidurals and you give birth on a delivery table. On the other side, you have hospitals which put an emphasis on natural birthing, freestyle birthing. One hospital went as far as to tell me that they don't provide epidurals because the female body is made to endure the pain during childbirth. Instead, they would guide you through the birthing process with breathing methods, aroma, and music. Only one hospital was providing both epidurals and freestyle birth, and that is the hospital I chose. I made an appointment, and 1 week later I went for my first visit there. At that time I was around 7 weeks pregnant. I had a normal checkup, which looks like this. You have a weight check, they check your blood pressure, you have a urine test, and you have a blood test. And then I had a transvaginal ultrasound done. At this appointment, the heartbeat was detected and an approximate birth date was set. After the medical checkup, I had a mental support session. I sat down with a nurse for about 50 minutes. It was a very relaxing atmosphere and I felt really taken care of. She was explaining about all the different procedures I have to go through. She explained which options were available for prenatal screening. She was telling me about nutrition. She was telling me to take folic acid supplements. In Japan, they sell it like this. She gave me health advice regarding sports and weight gain. She also asked if my partner was supportive and if my work conditions allow for a safe pregnancy. So at this session, I could ask anything, and this was really helpful for me since this is my first pregnancy. The hospital told me that after the heartbeat was detected and an approximate birth date was set, I can now go to my local ward office to register the birth. At my local ward office, I was asked again about my support system, family, partner. They were also asking if I have stress at work and if I am financially stable. Then I got a mother-child book. Where all your data is written in by the doctor, like weight gain, screening results, vaccines. This is important because if something happens to you further along in your pregnancy and you are not close to your hospital, you can give this book to any doctor and they will know exactly at which state in your pregnancy you are at, and they can then take care of you. With the mother-child book, there comes also a coupon book. There are 14 coupons inside, which you can use to pay for your regular visits. Usually a normal checkup costs me between 2,000 and 3,000 yen, but only because I always use the coupons. So these coupons, they cover more than half of your regular visit costs at the hospital. There's also a coupon inside for a dentist visit and then for your newborn baby as well. At your local ward office, you also get a pregnancy badge. You can put this badge on your bag, telling people that you're pregnant. Ideally, people see the badge and they know you're pregnant, and then, for example, in the train, they make space for you to sit down. For me, this is not always working, but then my belly is not showing that much yet. So maybe in the future, this badge gets more effective. I was also asked if I want to give birth in my hometown or in the city where I live. So this is very different from Germany. In Germany, you would look for a midwife yourself. She would then come and check on you before the birth and after the birth. In Japan, this is usually done by the mother of the pregnant woman. So a lot of women in Japan, they go back to their hometown to give birth and then stay with their parents after birth. 2 of my female colleagues went for that option actually. Between the 12th and 16th week of pregnancy, there's an option to get the OSCAR screening. It stands for One Stop Clinic for Assessment of Risk. This is a prenatal screening test for Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, and Patau syndrome. This screening is not covered by your health insurance or coupons, so you need to pay for yourself. It costs around 38,000 Japanese yen. I decided to take the screening test because I wanted to make sure that my baby is healthy. The last point I want to talk about is the registration at the hospital. At the hospital I go to, you need to do the registration for your birth around the 15th week of your pregnancy. At the registration, you're filling out a form basically stating you are covering all the hospital bills. In some cases, these hospital bills can get really expensive. You need to sign it, and you also need 2 other people to sign it as well. In my case, my husband and his parents both signed it. At that point, you also need to choose which type of room you want to stay in. In the hospital I give birth at, I can choose between a single room and a shared room. I also can choose between a Western style room with a bed or a Japanese style tatami room. And most important, you need to do a down payment at that time. Mine was 100,000 Japanese yen. This needed to be paid in cash, but it will be later part of the hospital bill. I am now in week 19, and next week will be my next regular screening. I will make more videos, and I hope that you will join me on my pregnancy journey. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Bye!